Impact and audience. You can't make an impact without an audience. Just because you create something valuable, if you don't do part two, which is making sure you're pushing it out there, you're connecting with people, you're growing the audience, you're filling the funnel, you could potentially make an impact, but you are not necessarily making an impact. Welcome back to the Kelly Roach Show, and today we're going to dig into 8-figure habits, the things that have allowed me to build not just one, but multiple successful companies online, keep them growing while maintaining my focus on family and faith first. This is going to be a multi-part series because there are lots of habits that we need to talk about that are going to be essential to your ability to grow your empire while prioritizing the things that I know matter most to you, the people that you love, really having a rich daily life, creating lifestyle freedom, being able to give back, being able to honor your relationship with God and family and everything in between. So today, we're going to start off with just a couple because I don't want to rush through this. I want to create some opportunity and white space for you to think, and we're going to cover this in a multi-part series. The first thing that I want to do today is I want to ask you a few questions. I want to give you a few questions that you can ask when you begin your day, each day as an entrepreneur, that are going to allow you to facilitate the right habits. Okay, so asking better questions, gonna give you better answers, gonna lead you to take new actions and ultimately get better results. So the first question when you start your day as an entrepreneur is, how am I making money today? And what an important question, because it is literally what keeps you in business. And a couple episodes ago, I covered the Miracle Hour, which we will link down below again so that you can listen back to it. When we talked about the Miracle Hour, I explained the importance of you making offers every day, or your sales team making offers every day, or your client services team making offers every day. A business that doesn't have a plan to make money each day is most likely not going to make money each day. And what happens in far too many businesses is they get busy running the business instead of actually facilitating the thing that keeps them in business, which is making offers and delivering on them. So the very first question that you ask yourself when you start your day as an entrepreneur is, how am I making money today? Why is that the first question? Because that is the question that will keep you in business. If you do not ask that question and answer it each day with clarity, with a roadmap, KPIs, and an action plan, it is going to be constant stress and it is going to be constant struggle. And whether it is you as a solopreneur, as the primary salesperson, or whether you're running a large team of 25 or 50 or 100 people, the question remains the same. How are we making money today? And making sure that that's the question that your team is asking. I've run teams that ask this question as the first question every day, and they make money every single day. And I've run teams that haven't asked this question as the first question every day. And you know what? They haven't made money every day. And for a business to remain profitable and for a business to grow and thrive, it's the first question that you have to ask, because it's the thing that pumps the lifeblood and energy into your business that keeps you in business. So your first habit in this Healthy Habits series is to start your day by asking the question, how are we making money today? And not just generally answering, but is there a specific plan? What are the action steps that we're taking? In what quantity? And with whom? Those are the follow-up questions that you need to know the answers to, or your sales leader needs to know the answers to, and the people that are executing need to know the answers to in order to create a healthy and sustainable business. And if your leadership or if your team is not answering these questions at the top of the day each day and then setting out to achieve it, it is going to be a struggle. And so this is very, very important for your leadership to be on board with. And this is very, very important for you to be on board with. And then that has to be a trickle down into the culture of how the business is run. The second question that you want to ask yourself each day is, how are you wowing the customers who already are paying you? What are you doing to make an even better product? What are you doing to elevate the customer experience? What are you doing to improve upon the products or services that you're already offering? Is it time to update recordings? Is it important to add a bonus session on something that's maybe a little bit of an add-on to the curriculum? Is there some little nuance of a gratitude touch or a little above and beyond on the servicing that you can offer? The second core question you want to ask yourself each day to facilitate the right habits in your business to keep it growing and scaling is, how do I improve my customer experience and results? The most important metric in your business is ultimately going to be lifetime value. As a business is beginning the scaling process, the most important thing initially is customer acquisition. But the moment that you have a good understanding of customer acquisition, you have to pivot into improving customer experience, improving customer delivery, helping your clients and customers to get better results, and extending their lifetime value. Otherwise, the churn is going to outpace the growth and the business is going to go backwards. So the second core question to create the right habits in your business each day is, how am I improving the customer experience and results today? Again, you as the business owner may not be the person doing these things, but you want to get your team thinking this way. You want to get them taking action and implementing things along these lines as you build out the various teams in your company that will be interfacing directly with your clients on a daily basis. Okay? So the first question is, how are we making money today? The second question is, how are we improving the customer experience and results? And the third question is, how are you being of service to the world? Getting out from behind the curtain and getting out front of the business, whether it's live streaming or it's posting or it's creating stories or it's sending out an email or it's follow-up messages or interaction in some way, shape, or form, putting out a new piece of content. What are you doing to make an impact? And I say this all the time, but it's worth repeating, right? Content is not something to check the box on. Content is not something to find something to push out just to say you did it or just to create visibility. This is your legacy body of work. This is how you make an impact in the world. This is how you are creating connection and rapport and relationship with your future customers. So put your best foot forward. Really ask yourself that question: how can I be of service to the world today? How can I help other people achieve what matters most to them? When you get out of the you focus and you get into the they focus, you get into the we focus, and you're really looking at how can you facilitate helping other people make their goals, their dreams come true, you're never going to have to figure out how you're going to make money or how you're going to make a sale if you're constantly asking yourself, how can I make an impact? Because income is a byproduct of impact, period. And the more people that you impact, the more that your income will grow. And that's not just about creating content. That's not just about creating something that could make an impact. It's about you putting it out there, and it's about you connecting and engaging and audience building and interacting, so that not only are you creating something that could make an impact, but you're actually making sure that that impact is made by not just creating, not just putting something out there, but making sure that it's seen, it's heard, it's consumed, so that you can get a result. Okay? So again, we talked about the first question: how are we making money today? With a clear plan, with an action step, with action steps laid out, and with an understanding of who we are making offers to and what we are making offers for and how we are effectively leading through that. we talked about really looking at how you're going to drive lifetime value of your customers. How are you going to wow your customers this week? How is your team going to wow your customers this week? What can we do to up-level the experience and results? That might be you doing more training with your client services team or your support team. That might be your leadership doing more training with them, depending on what the size and scope of your organization is, right? And then, when you look at that next step and you've gone from, okay, how are we making money? How are we improving the results of the people that are already paying us? Now you're saying, how am I filling my funnel with more people for the future that are going to pay us? And that's about impact and audience. Impact and audience, because you can't make an impact without an audience. Just because you create something valuable, if you don't do part 2, which is making sure you're pushing it out there, you're connecting with people, you're growing the audience, you're filling the funnel, you could potentially make an impact, but you are not necessarily making an impact, right? And then the fourth thing is you have to measure, track, and act. Measure, track, and act, right? And when I say measure, track, and act, there's a couple different ways that you can do that. One, you look at your expenses for the month, you look at your confirmed revenue for the month, and you look at your goal for the month. How far are you from it, and how are you doing getting there? Do you have a clear roadmap and a clear path to get there, which takes you right back to the first question. And this is how these things are all going to be interconnected, okay? You go right back to that first question. How are we making money today? What's the path? What's the action plan? What are the metrics? Who are the people that we're targeting, right? So what are your expenses? What's your confirmed revenue? What is the gap to where you want to be for the month? And then it brings you back to step 1. And that's how you're going to get really, really clear on how you're answering that first question, because now you have a roadmap for whatever profit margin you set as your target above and beyond your expenses. You know what the gap is, you know what your price point is, and you know how many sales you need to make to get there. Now you got to go back to step 1 and make sure that the team's plan is congruent with that. And then the second part of that is making sure that the people, which are everyone on your team, everyone is responsible for sales, whether they're a salesperson or not. If someone is getting a salary, they are responsible for contributing to the bottom line in some way, shape, or form, right? Because it won't be sustainable otherwise. So the final piece of that is, what are the metrics? What are the repeatable KPIs that each person on the team is going to be doing, and how are you measuring and tracking those to actually facilitate the outcome that you want? Because teams that sustain peak performance, they pace on a daily basis, they follow metrics continuously, and they're always looking to improve. They don't get emotional when someone holds them accountable. They don't get overwhelmed when they have to stick to KPIs. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm and it's a routine, and everyone works together and paces together and drives together to get to the outcome. So this is part 1 of your Healthy Habits series of how you are going to build your empire while putting faith and family first. And today we talked about the 4 questions to ask yourself to make sure that you are able to grow your business in a reasonable amount of time, create predictable results so that you can not only grow a business that you love, but also have the lifestyle and time freedom that you crave. I hope this episode was helpful for you. And if it was, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a single episode. And we just relaunched our YouTube channel, so come on over and check out what we're doing there. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you so much for listening to The Kelly Roach Show. If you enjoyed this episode, do me 2 solids. Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review so other people can find the life-changing content that we share here. We're on our way to number 1, and we need your help getting there. Thanks so much for being a part of the community and for tuning into the show each and every week.